Hey guys, usually at this time of the day, I get up only if I'm going for a ride or a trip. Today I'm embarking on an adventure which I've never done before and I'm excited to do that. Why don't we actually get on the road and talk, because there's no point of staying indoors and talking about it, and it's almost about to sunrise, so we need to get out there and do it. And this is the camera gear that I'm taking: audio recorder and a mic, selfie stick, Insta mount, GoPro battery, GoPro with the suction mount. That is the camera rig that I use. The lens is a 16mm lens. It's on a Joby tripod. This setup probably weighs 2 kilos or so. And a trusted iPhone. As you can see, it's 5:50 in the morning. The big news is we are taking the EV on a road trip. And some of you might be complaining about the shakiness and the lack of focus on this camera, but in low light, this is epic here. Except that light, this is pitch dark. And you're seeing it in 4K. We have a full range of 206 kilometers and 100%. Let me reset the trip. The engine's on. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever watching this, welcome to a new vlog. Oh boy, excited to do the first road trip on the Nexon EV. Probably shouldn't joke myself and say this is a road trip, because I've done longer distances, but out of excitement levels, it's among the top 10, because this is the first of its kind, and this is the first time I'm traveling 200 kilometers outside the city, outside the charging infrastructure, and see how this performs. So I'm heading towards Narketpally, which is like 100 kilometers away from the city. If you take the outer ring road, it's going to be 30-40 kilometers more, but from within the city, early morning, there won't be any traffic. So this would be just 100 kilometers one way. I'll have some breakfast by the time the car charges up and comes back. Technically, I wouldn't need to charge it up, but by the time I come back, the charge might be 1% or 2%, which can be tricky. In fact, I was told that the charging stations are available till Rajahmundry, which is like 750 kilometers away. But the last time I checked it on the app, some of them were offline. So that's going to be a big risk if you're heading there. So you need to always check the app, you need to check the distance, you need to plan it. But good signs here, infrastructure is improving. Like few months back, you had hardly 1 or 2 in the city. Now you have what, 5-6 in the city, but 1 or 2 are the only active ones most of the time. They keep changing it or maintaining it, so sometimes they are offline. You need to check it and go. But yeah, we're doing the first trip. In fact, Manogna also wanted to join, but it's just that I might have to come back on the same charge. So that's why I'm trying to drive thoda responsibly. Single pedal driving mostly. In case, worst case scenario, I might have to call the RSA, so I don't want her to be stranded on the highway with me. And I'm doing it early morning so that worst case scenario, we can come back earlier even if there is an emergency. So that's the plan, guys. We'll head to a hotel called VJA. That's where the charging station's located. Hopefully it works. They have charging stations at 7 Food Court, Rajugari Tota and VJA. These are the 3 charging locations that are outside the city. Out of that, VJA has been the most consistent. I've been watching for a few days. The rest are on and off. So if you're lucky, you might find all 3. And if I'm lucky, I'll try to go ahead and see if that's working, because that would be exciting, right? If things are consistent and working well, we might do soon a Vijayawada trip and then go to and then try Vizag. Traveled almost 10 kilometers from home without any regeneration. You might know this already if you're an existing subscriber. If not, please hit the subscribe button. Till 96% there is no regeneration. After that, the regeneration kicks in. That's when you get better range. So far I've covered 10 kilometers with just 4% of the battery. So that's equivalent to almost 2.5 kilometers per 1%, or 250 kilometers of range on a full battery. If we drive like this, I would definitely get 250. I kept the blower at 1 and the temperature is 24. The tire pressure is around 33, the last I checked. So those are the test conditions, guys, that we are using. It can vary with a lot more people in the car, or let's say the tire pressure is low, or if you're using AC blower. I'll soon get a small reader which can measure all these things. How much is the AC taking up the battery? But it's gonna take some time. We are working on few things. 6:48 is the sunrise. Lovely 19 degrees of temperature here, and I've already come to Khairatabad. Still some time for the world to get up, but we are out already. With single pedal driving, you can get the car to stop almost without hitting the brake. There is a concept called hypermile driving. In case you have watched my previous videos, you probably already know it. But they turn the AC off, do single pedal driving, choose the easiest routes where there is no traffic. They go at around a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. That's pretty hard. I don't think that's practical. But whenever you are on a pinch, let's say you want to reach home where your distance is 20-30 kilometers, but you have a range of only 10-15 kilometers, you can try that. So far we have consumed 7% of the battery and covered almost 19 kilometers. The purpose of the graph here is you want to maintain it as smooth as possible. See, usually whenever we're used to driving regular cars, right, we try to accelerate at the signal very high and the graph goes up. So whenever more power is consumed, the graph goes up. Whenever you use less power or whenever there is regenerative braking, the graph comes down. You don't want those spikes or bottoms. You want it to be flat. You want it to be as smooth as possible, as stretched out as possible. And in fact, going down is better, but whenever you go down, you also have to put some energy to go faster, right? So that's why stable speeds are the best way to go. That's what I believe. And we're getting 119 watt hours per kilometer, which is the lowest that I've seen consistently on this car. Typically it's much higher. Around in the city I used to get anywhere around 140. That's because the driver doesn't use single pedal driving. I do sometimes, but if there is too much of traffic also it's bad. But we are close to Dilshuk Nagar already. This is half an hour? That's fast. In 1 hour 15 minutes we'll reach the destination. I don't know if you can see that lovely sunrise. Oh man, that is beautiful. It looks small on the camera, but trust me, it's at least 4 or 5 times bigger in person, and it looks beautiful when there is no traffic, slight fog, sun rays up high in the sky, and that orange misty sun that you get in early mornings. Oh man, beautiful sight, beautiful sight. The cutoff point is 95 kilometers to 100 kilometers on the Odo. We would probably reach the location by then. Coming back could be a squeeze because there might be a lot of traffic, but we can always come slow and do hypermile driving, right? Anyway, exciting. That's the adventure part. Oh boy, imagine if there is a power cut at these locations. How long would I be stranded? Some rides, some drives even, are that much more beautiful and fun if you have such amazing sights here. Like, I'm loving the sun right now. It's so beautiful, so perfect. Oh boy, we almost hit 4 hours. So consumed 18% of the battery for 44 kilometers. So that's more than double for every percent. So that's more than 2 kilometers for every 1%. There was in fact a detour of 4-5 kilometers. So if not for that, this would have been much higher. Another 50 minutes and 60 kilometers to go. Not crossing 60-70 kilometers per hour, guys, because this is the first time I'm coming out on the highway. We want to make sure that we have the utmost range available. I'm glad some of you like this angle. Last time when we did the i20 review, each EV behaves differently, guys. And the way this was tuned when I originally purchased it, and then after the software update, check out this video. Key to enhancing the range on this car is to maintain consistency, not heavy deceleration or regenerative braking. You just maintain good steady speed and you should be getting good range. Let's talk about the Nexon EV and how it behaves on the highway. Mind you, I'm traveling at 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. This is not the realistic speed that most people do on the highways. They do anywhere between 100 to 120. This route has a lot of patches. It used to be smooth, but recently it has been patched up a lot. So you can get some road noise, but it's not bad, guys. It is one of the most comfortable compact SUVs out there. The suspension is tuned so well. And because it's an EV, the weight distribution is also 50-50, and that aids in terms of giving you somewhat a sporty feel because there is hardly any body roll in the corners. but at the same time the suspension is well weighted. It's not the softest like the ICE or the petrol or the diesel Nexon. It's not as soft as that, but I kind of like this combination more than that. So in terms of ride and handling, this is good. Power and efficiency, you saw how it is in sports mode in the previous videos that I did, right? I don't need to. This would be amazing to do overtakes. Braking, oh man, amazing brakes. Add regeneration to that. The brakes are sharp. They're Brembo sharp in biking terms. Design, subjective. A lot of you didn't like the i20 design. Sorry for that. The interior is different to what you get on the petrol and diesel car. They give white side, Tesla style white color leather seats. They do get spoiled easily, but you can maintain them here. You just need to take ownership of your car and actually maintain it, clean it once every month or two. Been doing 80 kilometers per hour, 75 to 80 kilometers per hour. Efficiency is hovering around 125 watt hours per kilometer. It went up by 5 watt hours. That's still good efficiency. Beep that you hear is the warning that you get around 80 kilometers per hour. All the new cars have this beep, which is irritating. At 80, single beep. After 120, constant beeps. Good, but irritating. Anyway, we're just 30 minutes or 35 kilometers away from the location. I think we'll have more than 50% to go back home. So we'll fully charge it, or we'll charge it close to 90%, because after 90% the charging is slow, and we'll decide whether to go ahead or go back home. I'll probably go back home. There's still people getting fast tags here. I don't know why. Why the delay, man? Just get it. Unless you want to give black money for toll, FASTag is the way to go, guys. FASTag's working, and the temperature out there is just 20 degrees. So foggy. Just 7:45. We're like 15 minutes away from the location. Eager to see if the charging station is working. If it's not working, we still have range to go back home. That's the good thing. And if it's working, who knows what we'll do next. I've hit 100 kilometers, consumed almost 41% of battery. Vijayawada is another 200 kilometers, but we're stopping only at 4 kilometers. We'll do a full charge, almost a full charge, till 90%. Probably going to Vijayawada is not possible because chargers at Rajugari Tota and 7 Food Court, the two other locations nearby in Suryapet, are offline. So we'll have a quick breakfast, charge it up, and go back home. That's the plan. There is the charger. Let's hope it's working here. Initially the charger didn't work, gave me a big scare, but I had enough range to go back home. Just like close, would probably be left with 1 or 2% charge, but decide to give it multiple tries. Some stuff to fiddle with. I think this should be pretty seamless, but somehow it's not. The most important thing is it's working. So I'll enjoy some breakfast now and catch you guys in probably half an hour, in a short while. Food is decent, but the place is very spacious and decent crowd. It's not as good as the ones you get at 7, but pretty decent. Chalega. The main reason I'm here instead of 7 is the charger there is not active. The ones here is active. It took almost 35 minutes to go from 57 to 95%. After 90, it kind of slows down a bit. Originally, this charger was not working. So that's the MCV box. Tried to restart the whole thing. That's what I was told by the technician whom I'm in touch with. For some odd reason, it was connecting, but then within a second it was disconnecting, saying the charging is completed. This happened before at Sanatnagar too, but after 2-3 attempts it works. Here it was not working. So the technician asked me to open that and restart it. I said it's locked, there is no access to that. So then he told me to press the emergency button. I did that. It went into some mode and I could disconnect the charger. Again, I couldn't turn it on. It's a rotating knob. So you turn and pull it back, and then it came back up, and eventually it started charging. For this ride, this is just one stop, guys. The future rides we will push till Suryapet and then to Vijayawada. Vijayawada is around 200 kilometers and the range is now around 225. We can easily go to Vijayawada and charge it there and come back. For today, the purpose was only till here. In the next ride, once the charging stations work regularly at 7, we'll do Suryapet and then Vijayawada. Probably that would be a good option. So yeah, that's the story of how the first road trip happened on the Nexon EV. Highway trip, not a road trip as such. We'll see you guys on the road. Previously, I covered 105 kilometers by using 43% of battery capacity. But if we extrapolate that to 100%, 244. The system here says I could have traveled 244 kilometers on full charge. That's amazing, yeah. In this whole trip, the efficiency has been great. The average efficiency is 123 watt hours per kilometer. After all those adventures with the charger. For a second I thought it didn't work, but luckily I had, and I planned this trip in a way that even if this charger didn't work, I can go back home. Fun experience. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you see that? That's another Nexon trying to charge. Boy, there is some demand for this place. The watchman was saying there is at least one car that charges up here frequently. I don't know if this guy stays nearby, but it seems like there is demand for this restaurant because of the charging station. Now I'm gonna drive back. There's gonna be a free highway run because I have enough range to get back home. It's just 132 kilometers is what I need to travel. I'm not gonna do sports mode because in sports mode the highest range is 140, 150. Car is restricted to a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. So anyway, I can't go beyond that, but I'll drive peacefully, calmly, without no range anxiety, because the next stop is home and we have 223 kilometers of range. So 95 to 52 is 43% of decrease. In the morning I covered 104 kilometers utilizing the same battery capacity. So that shows the difference in driving styles. Oh boy, if you drive conservatively you can extract a lot. Conservatively matlab I was not doing 40 with AC off and all that shit. I was doing comfortably 60 to 80. In fact, in some places 80, 85 also. But now 80 to 100. Average bole to it will definitely be around 85, 90. The blower is a 2, as you can hear. So in that regard, this takes hit on the mileage quite a lot. I will not slow down till I reach Gachibowli. After that anyway CTA, so the range would get better. It's almost 140 kilometers from that restaurant to my home. We consumed 82% of battery. The efficiency is 165 watt hours per kilometer. In the morning it was 123 watt hours per kilometer. So if you're driving freely without any concern about range anxiety, then that's the range you would get on the highway. And if you drive consciously, like I did in the morning, that you can get 244 or something was the projected mileage then. If you're driving an EV on the highway, you need to adapt your style. That's the takeaway from this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And in case you're watching this tonight, have a good night and take care. Bye bye.